Hello guys, and welcome to this video. This time it's going to be a video on how I use my iPad for university because I found myself wanting something more portable than my laptop but still bigger than my phone and useful that I could bring up documents and actually get work done on. And the iPad proved to be a very good solution to that. So this is my lock screen. It's just a nice calming picture, I thought, so that's why it's there. And let's just open it up and have a look at what is on it. So here it is. Let's just quickly go through what's on it. This is the first page where I have all my university apps, so I'll come back to those. Then on the second page I have kind of all social media apps. And then here I just have the rest of the apps that I have on my iPad. I don't really have that many apps on here, and these are the rest of them. Then down on kind of the bottom bar, I just have the ones that I use the most. I have my to-do list app, I have my calendar app, I have Safari, and I have GoodNotes. GoodNotes is probably the most important app that I have on my iPad, to be honest. So if we start going through, Google Sheets I use because I have a tax module this year and we use it quite a lot to do workings in, so I have quite a lot of that. Then Google Drive is just obviously Google Drive is where I keep all my university stuff. I don't know if I've mentioned that before, but yes, I have a university folder just organised into years and then non-specific. So obviously this is my second year and I'm in my second year. So just have all my modules and then divided into kind of relevant tabs for each of them. I usually keep a separate tab for any assignments that I have, PowerPoints, etc. Then in Google Docs I do any writing that I have to do. I have a keyboard that attaches to my iPad as well, so I can use that if I actually want to type something. I also have Dropbox. I have most of my things in Dropbox, but since Google Drive is connected to Google Sheets and Google Docs, I decided it was easier to keep my university work in there, but I have Dropbox because that's where all my other stuff is. So I actually have a Tumblr post on the organisation of my Dropbox, so I'll link that down in the description because I think that would be quite a helpful insight into how I use it. Then I have Google Translate. Then I have Quizlet, which I use for flashcards. I'm sure you've all heard about it, and I just make flashcard sets for my modules. I've been slacking, so I don't really have much in this yet, but that'll be updated as soon as I have the time. Then I have Trello. I've made a video on that before, so I'll link that up in the cards, but that I use so much for my university work and it is super helpful. Then we have my university's app, and I'm not going to go into that obviously. Then we have OneNote, which I don't really use, but I might find a use for it eventually, so it's just hanging out there. Then we have Canvas, which is my university's kind of intranet thing. I have iTunes U, which if I want to have a look into that I can. And then Mendeley is used for referencing and kind of keeping references. Then how I mainly use my iPad for university is via GoodNotes, because GoodNotes is honestly the thing that's worked the best for me when it comes to organisation, note-taking and everything. So in GoodNotes, this is just an example. I was working on this when I was flying back from Norway. This is a chapter from my tax textbook, which I've just scanned because obviously I can bring lots of textbooks back with me for Christmas. And then I've just highlighted kind of the important bits and I just go through and I do that, and I do that instead of kind of highlighting in the textbook. And also what I will do, let's see if we can find something relevant. Let's go to last semester because I have some more stuff there. When doing work in lectures, we'll get kind of PowerPoints and I will kind of highlight on them and do my notes on them, so I don't actually have to do them on a separate piece of paper and I don't have to print the PowerPoints, which is super helpful. So just do all my kind of little notes directly on the PowerPoint because all of my lecturers post the PowerPoints online, which is really helpful. And then in seminar I will kind of do my notes in here as well. So we'll get kind of a question and I will scan it and or find it on the intranet and then highlight what we need, do some little notes on there and then kind of do more of the detailed kind of response just on a new page and just write like you would in a normal notebook, but I can kind of intersperse it within the question, which is really handy. So that is why I really like it. It's the fact that I can have everything in one, and I just have this sorted by week. So I have everything from week 9 in here, both the lecture and the seminar stuff, because I can literally just pop it in as a new page. As you see, these get quite lengthy. This is 60 pages, but obviously that was a long PowerPoint, so you can't really judge it by that. And then sometimes if my lecturers post the PowerPoints early enough, I'll convert them to PDF and have 2 kind of slides on one page, because then I have a lot more room to kind of write around it, which is really handy because I don't have to clog up the main bit of the PowerPoint slides. Here as well, we were just doing question, highlighted the important kind of facts, and then did some calculations and more questions, more calculations. That is really how I use my iPad for university. That is the main bit, is GoodNotes and how easy that has made organisation and everything. I use a stylus to take my notes because I find that a lot easier. Let's see. So this is my handwriting, just with a stylus on here. It's not meant to be nice. Most of it is just scribbles. So I'll use this, and then I'll go in and just write. Hello. So that is how I use it. You can also type. I don't really do that because I can just as well handwrite it. But yeah, if any of you are interested in GoodNotes or have any more questions, just leave them down below and I will have a look and try to answer as best as I can. And I think that is it, really. So that has been a kind of a look into how I use my iPad for university. If you have enjoyed this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more from me, hit the subscribe button and we can be friends. And on that note, I hope you've had a really good day, and I will see you with a vlog on Saturday.